Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceaniz.
Hello, hello, folks. It's lovely to be back.
And boy, we got some doozies to talk about today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. It's been a rough time for manga.
Boy, it sure has.
Yeah. Before we get into the thing proper, you got any news? Anything?
Duran has been canceled,
To no one's surprise.
to no one's surprise, yeah. But next chapter is going to be the final one, chapter 36. Which, to be
hmm
fair, it lasted longer than a lot of things have these days that get the axe.
It lasted longer than Red Hood and Time Paradox Ghost Rider combined.
I think it lasted longer than Phantom Seer too.
Yep.
Ugh. Um,
Old wounds.
Old wounds. I tore that one open myself.
hmm
I forget the name of the series that is. We already know what's replacing it. But I forgot the name.
I just know it's based off of one shot that ran like a year ago.
It's like some.
Um,
It's like a guy and a demon girl. Something. I think it's supposed to be more slice of life than
a
anything.
guy and a demon girl. How
That's.
novel.
Well, yeah. You know, not like
Don't tell me they
Duran was the peak of originality either.
Well, yeah, but I mean, don't tell me they're gonna hunt like paranormal beings
Well, they look like they're in. They kind of just look like they're awkwardly romancing. But
in
I
high
also have only seen
school.
one screenshot, so
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's like old-timey Japan. She's in like a
Uh,
kimono with an umbrella.
okay. Well, I mean, that doesn't have to mean anything. You can still go to high school with a kimono and
I guess
umbrella.
that's true. But it's like old-timey Japanese streets. Like it's not a
Oh,
modern
okay.
city that they're in.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a little more novel then. I'm interested.
We'll see. We'll see. It could be
Yeah.
fine. I don't know. I must have lost the tweet where I had it, where I saw what it was called, because I can't find it anymore, and I don't know. The account that tweeted out was extremely excited for it. Apparently, they really liked the one shot. So,
hmm
well, I haven't read any
Yeah.
about it, so we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think I have like an extensive amount of experience reading one shots. I feel like they just kind of come and go, literally.
Yep.
You know,
They
as they
show up
do.
sometimes, and I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. Like the only one shots I consistently read are the ones by Fujimoto. But those are fucking goated, so you
Oh,
know.
here it is. Dai Tokyo Oniyo Meden.
Okay. I
And
sure
actually,
hope
I
that
can't tell if this is supposed to be. Actually, this might be modern because that looks like a sidewalk. I clearly didn't look at it in close enough detail. And he's also in a
the
puffer jacket. So yeah, this is probably modern.
what you don't know about the famous 15th century Japanese puffer jackets?
The classic adornment of the samurai, the puffer jacket.
Ye old jacket. uh, in other news, Shonen Jump has rolled out a very interesting service in Japan, currently exclusive to Japan, which is author messages. You can now send messages directly to authors if you're located in Japan.
That's
And I want to
dangerous.
put an yeah, I want to put an asterisk on direct. Every author has gotten an additional assistant whose only job is to comb through messages and only let the appropriate ones through.
Okay,
So
that's got to be a one hell of a job.
yeah, so if you want to call Horikoshi a slur, he's not gonna see it. Which good. I support this.
Do what you've got to
I
do.
I don't I don't think this is ever gonna roll out outside of Japan because translation and
Oh, definitely
keeping
not.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but it's cool. It's I think the first time they've done this in at least as long as I've been following the magazine. There might have been like an old like like fan mail service back
hmm
in the 90s or something, but I don't think they've done this in a long time. So this is very good. You know, bring these people into the more communication with the public. I think that's always good, especially when you have the opportunity to filter out people who are asking for hey, how much cum can Bakugo fit in his mouth,
I wonder if the assistant would be like, I'm gonna answer this one. This one needs answered.
Then like Hori looks at it and is like horrified, and then the assistant like grabs him by the shoulder and he goes, "Leave it to me.
I've got this.
Leave Jiren to me." Uh, but yeah, no, like it must be one hell of a job. And to be completely honest, I'm not sure if I understood it correctly that every single author got an additional assistant for this, or if they got like a pool of like just guys who does it for who do it for
Oh my god,
everyone.
could you imagine if it was just like one guy just sifting through all this shit?
He's like, Oda Sensei, someone's asking about Luffy's dick again. And then Oda's like, let him through. I've answered those questions before. I will again.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
Send them all in. I don't even want the assistant. Just send it all to me.
Have you read like what is it called? The One Piece SBS? I don't know what it stands for, but like those fan Q&A books that release every once in a while?
Hmm.
Have you ever seen any of those?
I saw the one where he was like, hey, girls aren't gonna like this, but the optimal way to draw women is two circles on top of an X.
Yes. That's where that one's from. There are so many questions about Luffy's dick. And every time he goes, "What's wrong with you?"
I mean, it's a valid question. It's
And it's
stretchy,
a
man.
valid answer.
Yeah. It's the old Mr.
Uh
Fantastic paradox.
yeah, well, if he can stretch literally every other part of his body, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to stretch that. If he can't, that's woke censorship.
The liberal mob is trying to get rid of his powers. It's erasure.
Woke censorship by famous progressive author Eiichiro Oda. In German, we have an expression where you call someone a Frauenversteher, which translates to woman understander.
The phrase woman understander is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, because it's used exactly as you would think. It's used to describe the biggest fucking misogynistic pricks in existence.
I am desperate to see somebody with that in their Twitter bio. Just woman understander.
Woman understand, because you never just say it by itself as well. You always like pair it with esteemed or well known.
Famed woman understander.
The woman whisperer. Oh god. Oh. Let me drink some water to quell my non-existent chronic illness real quick. Oh. But yeah, anyway, that's all the news from my side.
Yeah, I think that's all that I'm aware of is the new serialization of another one starting 2 weeks from now. Next week will be Duran Duran's last chapter. Usually
Hmm.
the Axeman comes in twos, so
Yeah.
who's it gonna be? Aliens Area or Earthchild? I suppose is the next question.
Uh, I have a I'm gonna put my money on Earthchild.
But that's my assumption as well.
Yeah. Because Earthchild definitely felt more final this week. Whereas Aliens Area is still sort of doing that we're just doing our thing kind of deal, you know. Doesn't feel as imminent. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into top threes. What do you got?
Number 3, I got My Hero. Number 2, I got Chainsaw Man, and number 1, Jujutsu. But I would say Jujutsu and Chainsaw Man are about tied.
Yeah, mine are
It's
pretty
more
much
like,
exactly the same, except I have Chainsaw Man at 1 and Jujutsu at 2. So
yeah,
pretty much
damn. Okay,
exactly even. So
we have
perfect.
linked up. We have
Mind
done it
link,
yet again.
the mind link.
Yes.
So that means first we have oh god, Dragon Ball Super.
Come to the trough, dear people. It's time for your monthly.
Your monthly garbage slop. This is the shittiest thing I've maybe ever seen.
No, no. I will debate you live on stream, bro. This shit is the best thing Super has done in ages because it's so bold-facedly stupid that it's more entertaining than the entire Granola
Okay,
arc.
that's not entirely wrong. Because Frieza's the only good Dragon Ball character left. Frieza's the only Dragon Ball character I see, and I'm like, ah, this fucking guy. He's very good with the Naoya Dio vibes, where he's just like
Yeah.
a giant douche. Um, how do you write an entire arc with a character who's not in it at all, and he's only like vaguely talked about in the background, and then said character shows up at the end and just ends the entire arc in like 7 pages?
Like, yes, I've gotten tired of this arc too.
Yeah,
Looks into the
Frieza's just
camera.
doing it for us.
The
The readers are
champion.
sick of this arc. I'm going in.
No, dude, Frieza is a stand-in. Like you know how in you know how in Dragon Ball there was that whole thing where like Toriyama's villains were like based on his editors and assistants.
Mm,
Like
mm-mm.
Frieza is a stand-in for the Jump editorial department, telling Toyotaro to end this fucking travesty.
Please stop making garbage. Are we really gonna get every single time Frieza gets a new form, which apparently he can just do now?
Hmm.
Um, is it gonna just be color Frieza every time?
Rainbow Frieza,
It's my new form, Magenta Frieza.
my new form, Rainbow Frieza. No, impossible. What is it, Vegeta? Are you homophobic? Frieza's final form. He's just gonna come out as gay. The ultimate message of Dragon Ball is just gonna be gay, do crimes.
It would
But
be way better if that was the case.
I mean, it would, because whole Black Frieza is the dumbest shit.
It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I like how so Dragon Ball has always been about like plot convenience, which I guess is fine, like whatever. But the
Hmm.
the intense plot convenience of Frieza showing up at the last minute with a new form, nuking everybody, and then just being like, "Yeah, I stumbled onto a room of spirit and time in the middle of fucking space," and I was like, "Bet, I'm gonna get a new form now." How do you know what it does?
That and also like Jesus, you couldn't have given us like a panel of that happening
No, yeah,
maybe a
yeah,
year
he
ago.
just is like, "Oh, by the way."
I can't like honestly, this is the kind of stuff where like you describe that like the events of this chapter to someone, they're like, this is a parody. This is like a TFS abridged." Because literally, he comes in, he kills the main villain, black faces, kills the main characters, leaves. Like,
But no, he leaves after being petty as fuck and saying to the last two living bad guys, "Yo, I need a waiter and a chef."
his actual final form is just Sigma Frieza. Never. Actually, no, that's true. This really is the Sigma grind set. Don't respect story structure. Never foreshadow. Just do things.
The Sigma grind set in action. Never plan your story out beyond a week.
I mean, that's what Toriyama did. Wait, isn't this the arc where Toriyama took over for like storytelling?
I have no clue.
Wasn't it this one?
I strongly doubt Toriyama has taken over for anything
Well,
anywhere.
okay, taken over. Like this is, but wasn't this the arc where they said, "Oh, he's gonna have more involvement," or was that Boruto? I never
I
remember. They're
That
the
was
same series
Boruto.
to me.
That Kishimoto
Oh,
straight up took Boruto. That's
and
like
it's still garbage.
it's still
Damn,
shit, yeah. There's only
damn,
so much you can do. Also, he wrote Samurai 8, so yeah.
that is true.
Um,
He's just turning Boruto into Samurai 9. He's just gonna keep trying.
I've got it this time.
Finally, Samurai 12.
Dude, imagine being the editor that Toyotaro gives these pages to, and you're flicking through it and you're like, oh, great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for the manuscript. I'll go fucking give this to the guy, I guess.
Oh my god. Also, can I just say Goku getting a reaction panel going a new form? No way. It's the funniest shit ever.
Especially because both him and Vegeta got one this arc.
Also, have you seen the new Dragon Ball movie?
Superhero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't they get a bunch of power-ups there as well?
Piccolo and Gohan do.
So, like, what's the point? At this point, give them a, like, permanent D
By the
power-up.
way, do you know what Piccolo's new form is called?
It's the orange one, right? Like the gross one, looking one.
Yeah,
What is it called?
it's called Orange Piccolo.
Orange. That sounds like a dish at a five-star restaurant.
Can I interest you in our famed Orange Piccolo?
God, we just need to stop with the forms. Like, oh my God, just like depower all of them. Tell Goku, look, you contracted COVID-26, and now you cannot use ki
You're
anymore.
out of energy.
Yeah, you're out of energy forever. Have fun, and then the story immediately becomes more fun because now Goku can fucking die.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
okay, see, I'm the opposite. I'm the complete opposite mindset. We need to go crazier. We need to go even harder. I want Frieza to show up in like the next chapter, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm turquoise Frieza," and he's got like Super Saiyan 3 hair down his back and everything, and his
you wanna
tail is like
commit
three
to
times longer. Yeah, I want
you wanna
raw
commit to
fanfic now. That's it. Nothing else.
next chapter. It's like, oh yeah, I killed the god of everything. What is it called? What is he called? Zeno.
Oh, Zeno, yeah.
Yeah,
Frieza's like,
and
"Oh, by the way, I killed
I killed him and I fused with Broly. And I also got this from an alternate dimension, and he just throws the death note on the table.
it." I found this in a random room on a planet I went
He's like, oh yeah, check out the new jewelry I found under my sofa. It's just a one ring from Lord of the
to.
Rings.
He
Uh,
just shows up like one of those memes of Thanos with like every weapon from fiction on him.
yeah, I mean, because at this point, what is Tortaro gonna do? Is he just gonna keep inventing new shit that doesn't matter, or is he
Yes.
just gonna commit to the meme?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. For me, you gotta just suck it up and eat the meme and just like it's beyond salvation now, right? Like, what are
Yeah,
you
I
gonna
mean,
do?
there's no plot to
You
this.
can't
There
fix it.
hasn't
Yeah,
been.
it's gone. You can't fix it.
But it is funny as fuck. Like this is genuinely the most fun chapter of Dragon Ball Super I've read maybe ever. Because it's just so blatant and so like, yeah, this is the Sigma grind set. This really is the Sigma Rider grind set.
So fucking astonishingly bad. Like,
Wake up at 5 a.m. Write complete garbage for 8 hours. Don't elaborate. Go to sleep at 9 p.m. like a good little boy. Have a glass of milk.
one glass of milk, three Oreos, bedtime.
Put on your nightcap. It's sleeping time, baby.
Didn't lose a wink of sleep over churning out the fucking most dog shit chapter.
I I still cannot get over also the fact that he gets a new form and it's called Black Frieza and it's just like a fucking color slider. Like it's not even any different.
It's not. It looks exactly like Golden Frieza except black.
The thing is, it looks even more like Golden Frieza in black and white. This is so fucking stupid. Also, you know who has not appeared in the Dragon Ball Super manga yet, despite canonically existing for 3 years, 4 years in it?
Oob.
Broly.
Oh, well, he did get one single panel.
Well, yeah, the promotional panel for the movie.
Yeah.
Like, good God, fucking, why not? Why not use him? He's at least cool.
I have no idea why they don't bring Broly back at some point just to do something. Because the whole point of the Broly movie was to capitalize on the fact that everyone thought Broly's cool. And then they're
Yeah.
like, okay, that's enough. Get rid of it.
Well, he's in the new movie, right?
Like not he doesn't do anything in it.
Hmm. But I'm assuming he's like just around.
I think so. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched it on a terrible cam rip on the internet. I did not go to the
Oh, I
movie
see.
theater.
You didn't sit your ass down and listen.
No, no, no. I watched Gohan get look exactly like Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan because we're creatively bankrupt. But
Hmm.
his hair is silver now and bigger. It's really funny. You've seen Gohan's new form, right?
Yes, I've seen it. It's the worst.
It's literally just Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, but they recolored his hair and then they like highlighted it in Photoshop and stretched it out.
Well, the big thing for me is not even the hair, it's the bang. The bang that is like the size of his torso. Like I cannot
Beast
believe that that's
Gohan.
official. Beast goes. Again, everyone's just going Sigma grind set here. Like that's what Goku gets for being such a beta, to be honest.
Yeah, just calling his form Super Saiyan, whatever. Nah, nah.
Yeah.
You gotta have
Beast.
stupid adjective and then your name.
Masculine Gohan. I mean, Vegeta got the right idea with Ultra Ego.
Everyone is in masculinity restoring Gohan. It's just him and a bunch of like Andrew Tate style fucking
Oh
ads.
God. Oh God, don't even don't let's not even start on that fucking goober. Oh, also, Monaito calling Goku exclusively son of Bardock feels like it feels like marketing to me.
Yeah,
You know, because that
considering that
special was
like
called it.
they introduced themselves before he knew that information.
He's like, "Wait up, son of Bardock," in theaters, June 2023. Now available in IMAX and 3D.
It's
Um,
got that MCU vibe where it's like, oh, this character was mentioned. Wink, nod, nudge.
yeah, where they like look into the
See
camera
you
and
in
say
phase
buy,
4.
look into the camera and say buy our product. Very brave, creative decision. Also, one last thing, and I think then we should really move on.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been shitting on this for like 15 minutes.
it deserves so much more, but the banner at the end, Dragon Ball Super will be taking a break for a bit to prepare for the next arc. I'm just imagining like Toyotaro standing in front of like a pyramid of glue bottles and just going, "All right, baby," and just absolutely inhaling it like straight up. Like, what the fuck do you need to prepare for? You've shown very clearly you don't prepare your story in
Yeah, you
advance.
have no fucking idea what's going on, so just fucking roll the dice.
He's rolling like a colored wheel to figure out what the next form is gonna be called. It's like, oh, it landed on yellow. So next is gonna be Piss Piccolo.
Piscolo.
Piscolo.
Oh god.
Also, I like how Granola really didn't matter in the end, did he?
Yeah, didn't do jack shit, and then it was like, alright, peace.
But that's okay because in the end, Frieza showed up and he made the story his story, and that's fine by me.
Yeah, I enjoy Frieza, so it's alright.
Yeah. Frieza supremacy.
Alright, let's jump into the next one here.
Hmm.
Oh god. Earthchild.
Oh yay, more positivity. Yeah, this shit's ending, isn't it?
It has to be. It has to be. They're gonna sit down. They're gonna sit down with the will of planet Earth and be like, "Hey, you're being kind of mean," and then she's gonna be like, "You're right," and then it's gonna fucking
Think about it. What would Jesus do?
end.
Yeah, but is it me or have these last few chapters literally been the same chapter over and over
They
again?
absolutely are. Yeah, every single time. It's just like, "Hey, don't you want to turn against your family?" No. The chapter.
Yeah. Also, um, Carreri on page 16? What the fuck is happening there?
That pose, yeah, I think it's because the author was like, I gotta get the butt in the shot because
Well,
that's the only thing people like about this
it's not even the ass. Like, look at her fucking titties.
stuff. Yeah,
She has no torso.
well, I assume it's just the angle she's at is like her back is completely invisible, but what kind of angle must you be at for your back to be completely invisible?
At what angle does the body part that comprises 70% of your body become invisible? But yeah, wow, this just feels like it's trying. It's like almost stalling, trying to go through this loop of haha, you should betray your family, haha, I won't, over and over again. So it's just ready to end whenever.
Yeah,
Um,
just so they're waiting until they're told, okay, wrap it up, and then he can be like, okay, done.
mhm. I will say the final double spread is kind of funny and caught me off guard when they're like, "We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about this." I'm like, okay, that's it's the least creative, I guess.
It's better than like I'm gonna blast you with my powers.
Yeah, I'm gonna make hand signs at a tornado and it's gonna disappear. So yeah, but I really have very little to say on this. This has become such a disappointment. It is
Mediocrity
kind of
incarnate, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of hard to put into words. Uh, yeah, well, if it gets cancelled, I'll just pretend it got cancelled like 15 weeks ago when it was still good.
Yeah, back when it was Earthchild and not this, which is like Borfchild.
Earthchild, more like a bad child. Moving on.
Alright, next up is Aliens Area.
Hey, you know what? This was actually not too bad.
It was okay. It felt like they were actually doing something without the main character like not contributing to it, which was cool. He actually did things, um,
Hmm.
which I liked, and I liked that it had like Men in Black vibes, where he's like, I can't figure out how to use any of this fucking equipment,
Hmm.
which I thought was funny. Um,
I also like the alien that they were hunting, where he's
yeah,
like, "I came to Earth to meet a ninja, but when I realize they're all gone, I'm becoming a ninja. But I'm hungry, so first I must steal."
so first I must steal cat food, and it is all that sates me.
um, but yeah, it was a fun little chapter of them just catching the guy. Um, and I did like the main character's reasoning where he's like, I already have this arm which can kind of do whatever I need it to do. So my the biggest power up I could get is like a better ability to figure out what my enemy is.
Mm,
That was cool. That was like
yeah,
reasonable and good.
because they definitely could have gone to that and been like, now he's got a sword too, but no, they were smart about it.
Yeah. Is it just me or is that panel where he throws her on page 17 super rough? Like I know the art style for this series is a little on the rougher side, which is fine, but that one that doesn't look
Yes.
right.
Yeah, it's look how tiny his head looks.
That and just in general, the shapes are all over the place. It's kind of
Yeah.
off.
I mean, the whole page is kind of like, eh. But that panel
Yeah,
is probably the worst one of the chapter, at least. Yeah.
well, the entire chapter looked a little rough, but again, for this series, I always struggle to figure out when is art rough and when is it just the art style. But this chapter did feel a little on the less polished side, which
On the
I'm
sketchier
fortunate to
side.
see. Hmm. But yeah, not noteworthy, but not bad, but just an achievement,
Yeah,
honestly.
for Aliens Area, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
All right.
next up we've got Blue Box.
Which was actually not too bad
It was pretty
after,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
I like the resolution of it. I don't know if they actually kissed or not. He says they didn't, so I believe them because they showed the confetti move and they're like right there. The fact that they
Hmm.
stopped in this position makes it even less believable they didn't shatter each other's noses
Hmm.
because they literally stopped nose to nose.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of liked Taiki's response to it, which was like, we didn't, and I don't really appreciate you guys being assholes about it.
Hmm.
Instead of like having a panic breakdown like most anime characters would in this situation. Um,
That, and I appreciated that the focus on the chapter was very much on like oh, haha, now the rumors are gonna circulate, as opposed to Chinatsu having a breakdown over it.
Yes, which was
Because
good as
that's
well.
Yeah, because that's what I was worried about, that they were gonna turn this into a big drama, but they kind of save it a little by making it out to really just be an annoyance. And the biggest sort of takeaway from it is Taiki's friend asking him, "So are you sure you have no feelings for Hina?
Hmm.
Because I mean, she do be hitting on you."
Yeah, she'd be coming at you like crazy. So it would
Mm-hmm.
be pretty normal for you to have some kind of reaction to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do like that he's sincerely trying to like consider that and not just being like no. Like he told him no, but then in his head he's like, okay, I should really sit down and try to sort my feelings out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's also just fair towards the girls.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're just sort of getting them tangled up in a manga esque romance triangle, and oh no, we're in a manga.
Oh no, yeah. But it was nice for them to start doing things maturely again instead of like the trope fest that the past few have been.
Well, actually, in hindsight, the Trope Fest annoys me much less because it feels like it was setting itself up to them be like, haha, look, we're actually more mature than that. So, I can forgive it. Um, I will also say, Chinatsu just being in his kitchen eating chips out of nowhere is really funny.
Yeah, just being in there. I like
He's
his
like, when
reaction of,
did
is this an illusion?
you... Yeah. But yeah, and she doesn't look like devastated. So I hope that they don't red herring us and actually she's really mad. Um like at most I could imagine that she's like, "Oh, I know nothing happened, but I kind of can't get that image out of my head or the idea." And why is that? Like if they use that as a springboard to sort of have her become more assertive in this romance part, then I think that's actually a pretty good way to handle it.
Hmm.
Because I mean, like reasonably, you wouldn't get mad at this if you were in this if you were Chinatsu in this situation. And I'm talking to you specifically, you having so much experience being a teenage girl, right?
As one does, of course.
As one does. Yeah, but I could imagine sort of being like, it shouldn't bother me, but for some reason it does, and why is that? And that you take that sort of as a starting point and realize, well, I guess I kind of want to be smooching Taiki.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that could be an interesting way to handle it. As I said, I definitely don't want her to be like devastated over it.
Yeah, no,
That would
I
be
don't even
dumb.
think I want her to be mad about it, like at him at all.
Yeah, I want her to be sort of the perfect thing for me would be sort of this general, non-distinct like unease that she has whenever she thinks about that moment.
Hmm.
That would be, I think, the best sort of most realistic way to handle it, where it's not like I'm mad at a thing or someone specifically. It's just I don't feel great when I think about it, and then she starts investigating that and searching her feelings.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That'd be the way to do it
Okay.
for sure.
All right. Do we want to move on?
Yes, next up is the Elusive Samurai, which I forgot was a manga and did not read.
Oh, did you not read it
I
at
sure
all?
didn't.
Oh well, I read it, and you didn't miss too much. It was a lot of formalities again, and then one of the like enemy generals uh, challenged our main guy to a duel, but before he could say yes, one of his retainers, the guy who can fight well, uh, rushed in to take the duel in his place, which made the enemy general so mad that he pulled out Sephiroth's sword from Final Fantasy VII,
Look at that thing.
um, and one-shotted him. And so now they have to deal with a very angry Sephiroth cosplayer, and that's kind of the chapter.
Yeah, that sure. I flicked through it real quick. Well, okay.
Yeah. Like the most interesting thing about it, about this new villain, was that the reason he's so mad is he idolizes his enemies. He respects them on like by default. And when they disappoint him by, for example, having someone else take the duel in their stead, he goes sicko mode and pulls out the 4 meter long sword.
Sephi mode.
Yeah, Sephi mode. But yeah, that was honestly most of the chapter. Like it wasn't particularly engaging or interesting. It was all right. It was just another Elusive Samurai chapter on the way to more interesting things, I would say.
Sephi mode out of 10 then.
Yeah,
Uh,
Sephiroth out of 10.
Next up is Mashle.
This was raw.
Yes, it was so good. It was so good. We're back. We're
We're
doing
back.
things again. Shit, so fucking clean.
Dude, the
The
double
whole
spread.
final fight.
Yeah, the double spread where he like
I'm taking his
decapitates
head
him.
off. Oh my god.
Good
Shit went
shit.
crazy.
Yeah, any fight where it's like he's fighting with no regard for his well-being because he knows he's just gonna get healed, instant gas.
Mm-hmm. Immediate gas.
Yeah, immediate peaction. Um, but then the second half of the chapter was kind of meh, whatever.
Yeah, the Lance bit. Yeah,
Airs from his sister's room.
yeah, I've gotten kind of over the whole like sister jokes. It's kind of exhausting now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, I thought the visual of him like sucking magic out of people was pretty cool,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise it's just whatever.
Yeah. Like the highlight here was definitely the first half, which is interesting that that was sort of relegated to like a half chapter instead of a full sort of climax chapter for their own
Yeah.
fight. But that's okay actually. I think it works for what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like they could have let it be more of the chapter and then just kind of gone into like, and this is where we're going next. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really care about these two as much. Like Lance is
Mhm.
okay. This Dot's okay. Their whole weird little like we don't like each other bit that they're doing is like, okay.
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, it's a fine chapter. It's 50% gas and 50% sort of uneventful in my
Yeah.
opinion. So yeah,
Half
I'm already
half
at
half tank out of 10.
half tank out of 10.
Next up is Witch Watch, which I also forgot is a manga I forgot to read.
Well, then we have a problem.
Did you also not read it?
I my eyes have looked upon the pages, but I must tell you it is one of those chapters where like none of the information enters your head. Like I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened.
All right,
I
well,
was
guess what? We're
so
giving
out of
this
it.
it existed out of 10.
It exists. Witch Watch released this week,
It did.
indeed.
It was in the book this week.
Yes,
Next
I
up.
think I think the plot was that the vampire kid wanted to introduce this new guy to the group of weirdos, and then he accidentally like finds the wrong group of weirdos that also have an ogre and a witch and a weird guy.
Haha.
Haha. And the class like the class president and the student council are back, so
Oh, great.
fun times. Yeah.
Everybody's
The
favorite.
the second best subplot right after the mangaka subplot, manga fanfic subplot. But yeah, no. Uh, you didn't miss much. Although I probably am not the most qualified person to say that.
Anyway, next up is Undead Unluck.
Yeah, finally something good.
Yeah, really good. The whole backstory with Wheeze and Victor is super good. And now Fuko being in a position of who does she save? Does she take the card out of Andy's head and save everyone else? And that makes Andy go away? Or um, does she keep Andy and then lose everybody else? It's a fucked up situation.
Yeah, it's good drama, that's for sure.
Yes.
And I think I said it last time, but I also just like how much importance comes back to the card that's been in Andy's head for the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that stuff where it's like, oh, this innocuous detail that was just there and you accept it as just part of the series aesthetic. Yeah, actually, that's super important.
Yeah, well, they kind
I'm a
of
big
gave
sucker
it,
for
they
that.
kind of set up earlier because they were like, yeah, the card in his head just gets Victor away. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So, like, in our heads, we had already had, like, oh, that's what this is for. So it's just always
Mm-hmm.
going to be there because Andy's the character now. So, like, he's got to have it on his head. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then to bring it back to, like, actually, it's like the most important fucking thing is
Mm-hmm.
really cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a very cool sort of yeah, reframing sort of what Victor has been to the series because now it's sort of like you have to choose between Andy and Victor and choosing between Andy and sort of the happiness of the others. So it puts Fuko into an interesting position, and I genuinely don't know what she's gonna choose, which is interesting
Yeah,
because I feel
that's the
like it
thing
not.
is a lot of times you feel like, oh, well, obviously this is going to happen.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, like because feasible. I mean, realistically, she's gonna choose the guys, the boys. because she's a good girl, right?
Hmm.
But I could also totally see her choosing Andy and being like, "Well, we can just fix it some other way. We'll find a way." You
Yeah,
know,
both are possible. The only thing I hope that we don't do is I hope that it's not like a I reject both, and I've interpreted my powers to make it so that I can pick both.
she's like, "Unfortunately, I don't care," and her power evolves into uninterested. Anything that anything that you aren't interested in just ceases to be a factor of reality.
That's funny as fuck.
Mm. But yeah, no, this was a fun chapter. I'm really digging also these last two chapters. I said it last week as well. Like, just the exposition feels so much more natural and so much cooler to actually experience now, as opposed to the text blocks we were getting sort of midway through the series that were very very uninteresting.
Yes. Getting exposition and exciting in good ways has been like a massive upgrade for this series in general.
Yes. So yeah, very good out of 10.
Next up, we've got Sakamoto Days.
Which was very fun. I like gadget episodes.
Yes, I like the guy too. The Gadgeteer dude.
Hmm.
He's funny. I like him.
Yeah, he's cool. I like Shen's thing where he's like, "Well, I've always just had telepathy and future sight. I've never really had to learn weapons." And I like how he can't just keep relying on that. He actually has to like learn shit. I'm interested to see if they're gonna like actually incorporate the glove into his fighting style. Now that
Yeah,
they've
I
said, "Oh,
like
you
the
need the
concept
future."
where he's got a glove that doesn't activate in time, but he can see a few steps ahead to activate it when he needs to. Like that's a neat concept.
Yeah, because it's kind of a weapon that only he could make work.
Hmm. And it's not
Um,
like one that was like, oh, this is your specialty weapon. Like it's more of like a convenient thing where someone's like, this is a piece of shit failure, it doesn't work the way I want it to, and he just so happens to have the skill set to make this work. Like it wasn't some kind of special tech designed purely for him, you know?
yeah. Um, can I say the final page, the final like two few panels, where the deer head is looking at this absolute travesty of a villain design and goes, "Oh, Club Jam." It's so funny, like just image.
It's kind of got JoJo vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It really does. I mean, this entire series has I don't know because it reminds me of Chainsaw Man, sometimes it reminds me of JoJo. Like it has a lot of DNA from other series
Hmm.
in it, and it's really better for it. I think like just that chaotic, oh shit, this is happening, energy that Chainsaw Man has, but also the haha, the shit that's happening is fucking ridiculous, but also really cool energy that JoJo has. So no, I can definitely see that DNA sort of mixed in. Um, And yeah, no, I'm really interested to see sort of where this goes. I am starting to get a little nonplussed about the whole academy setting. I'm not gonna lie. This chapter
It's
was
getting a little stale. It hasn't lost me yet, just because I like them having access to like stuff like all this tech and everything. Like that's pretty cool to me. But
yeah,
like the whole we have to get the archive thing has started to be exhausting.
yeah, a little. I mean, yeah, this chapter definitely gonna lose me also because, as I said, I like gadget episodes, but I feel like we need to sort of start making some more decisive moves soon. Um, because otherwise it's gonna start feeling a little stale,
Hmm.
or at the very least, we need like a main fight again soon because ever since we got sort of out of the exam it's been very much sort of skirmishes instead of like a proper here's a big like event type fight, which I feel like they're setting up now with the old lady and with Shen having the glove. So yeah, no, I'm definitely very excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I really like Shin fights. Like anytime he fights, I think it's cool. So
Hmm.
the fact that he's getting this glove is dope. I really don't want it to go down the route of like he's Deku now and that it's too strong for his arm because it kind of looks like he broke his arm there at the end.
Uh-huh. What I
Um,
say, it's so red.
yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that's not the case, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, so the next is gonna be I think we're in, oh no, we have Akane Banashi.
Which was pretty cool.
It was cool. I
I
liked it a lot. The little showdown comment from him to her was not what I was expecting.
Me neither. So I guess he's still a bit of an asshole to her.
Right. And it's a whole thing. The
But
I
it's
like
it's
the little bit at the end where like, would you like to write your questions down? And she's like, no, no, I know this douche.
yeah. Um and yeah, I also just I like sort of the structure we got here where, we've been building towards her victory of this tournament for a while, but we don't actually get to see the victory technically. It would just immediately skip to what actually matters, which is her talk with him. Um and I also liked how the series keeps him continuously ambiguous because he's been nothing but nice now that he's
Mm-hmm.
been on screen. And now here he starts dropping this shady shit. It's very, very interesting, that's for sure. Um, and I also like that little bit we get on page 15, where you see the assistant going sort of, "Oh, Rakugo is really cool, I guess." It's cool because it's sort of like you get to see that Akane is inspiring others to like Rakugo beyond just sort of a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's something they said I think last week where a lot of these contestants were trying to show off and trying to show how good they are, but Akane is sort of inspiring a love for the craft itself.
Right.
Um,
Which I think was probably my favorite part of this whole thing is where everyone's performances up to then were meant to be like showcasing them as a performer, and hers was not, which I liked a lot. I also
yeah,
there's some interesting vibes with the Orochimaru stare that the host guy gives her after the old man's comment. What's going on with that?
kind of weird, isn't it?
That there's a lot of emphasis on that eye. That's all I'm saying.
He's like, I shall give her the curse mark.
I wonder if the dad like did something awful.
You th- you think?
Well, because the only thing that that eye makes me question is that like so he's saying that to her and no one really seems to get it. But the only one who acts like they got anything out of that message other than like what is that guy, and his
Mm-hmm.
immediate reaction is to glare at her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's just like I'm the old man's attack dog, or if it's like, oh shit, are you the daughter of that person who did the fucked up thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I need to know what actually happened, or at least what happened beyond the viewpoint of just Akane's dad.
Mm-hmm. I see. No, that is very interesting. Um, yeah, because the thing is also that would throw the story into a very interesting direction as well because she really idolizes her dad
Mm-hmm.
to the point where kind of her entire love for Rakugo starts with him. So if it came out that his expulsion and sort of the expulsion of everyone who was there in the group who got thrown out were justified, that would, wow, yeah, that would throw quite a wrinkle into it.
Right, because I mean,
Um,
the way it's been presented is a little fanciful up to this point of like, oh, this guy just went crazy and just kicked
mhm,
everyone out, and it's like, what? That seems unlikely, you know?
mhm,
And then, like, because the other guy, the one that's teaching Akane, hasn't really been doing anything. They said either since then, and like, they implied it was like out of shame of letting that happen to his students. But like, what if it was out of shame over whatever his students did?
yeah, maybe.
I don't know what
But
you
then
do in Rakugo. That's such a heinous crime. It's just, but maybe.
yeah, because I mean, it would have to be so bad that they would all get they would all get exposed, but then also bad enough for like the Rakugo organization to cover it up, basically.
Because nobody really seems to know about it.
Yeah, no one seems to know, and no one seems to like comment on it. Feel like with how far she's with how far she's gotten into sort of the Rakugo world, if it was something sort of mid tier, like oh he talked shit about people behind their back and he was awful to work with, she probably would have heard about it by now. I feel like no.
You think so? Yeah. I don't know. I need some of this mystery to get unraveled. Why is this Rakugo thing turning into a fucking mystery series?
Hey, it's a good mystery series, so I'm not complaining.
I need to
I'm
know.
good.
I'm not good at waiting. I need to know.
Well, I mean, today's Wednesday, so we'll have uh we'll have our answers in a few days.
Hopefully, unless they're just
4
like
days.
they just yell at each other and that's that. It just ends.
They skip the talk. They're just like, anyway, that's not
At the
important.
the beginning of the chapter is her walking out of the room.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be so mad if that happened.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I'd be livid.
I'd, I'd be so mad. Um, but yeah, aside from that, good
Real
chapter.
good, real good, yeah.
All
Next
right,
up
what's next?
is My Hero Academia.
Uh, oh no, he's hot. Um, yeah, this was an alright chapter. I
13 pages
enjoyed.
again.
Yeah, short. I don't know how he's doing, but I'm sure we'll hear about it soon, if there really is sort of a substantial problem. Um, I like Skeptic doing something. That was pretty cool. Sort of hacking into their network and raising the stakes by uh getting the civilians out of safety. I think that's sort of a good way to sort of elevate this big fight a little again. Um, I like that Dobby is back, even though I don't fucking understand how.
Yeah, I don't really get that either, but hey, you know what? Word.
Yeah, like
Cool.
his his explanation for it is terrible. Like, haha, you hit me with your cold fire, and I copied it with my hot fire, and now I'm alive again. And it's like, okay, Hori, all right,
Yeah,
sure.
so it's the dumbest shit that I've heard maybe ever because he's like, I copied your special move, but it's like you can't because you can't make ice. So you can't make it cold, so you can't copy it. You just made more fucking fire.
Yeah, unless he has a secret ice ability, which that'll be fun if that
And the way
if
they're
that ends up
framing
being
it
the
is
case.
like, oh yeah, he's now using this technique, but it's like he can't use it. So all he's doing is making fire, which he's already all done the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all
Uh,
worth it for page 7.
yeah. Well, and he gets to kill Onima. Oh
Yeah, well,
no,
whatever. I don't even remember who that is.
it's one of Endeavor's sidekicks. Uh, F in the chat, please, for Onima.
Rip,
Rip.
rip Anima.
I like the way Dobby looks now with like the flaming X like Shoto.
Yeah, he's
Um,
literally just like a charred skeleton.
yeah, the panel on page 8 at the top where he's just screaming skeptic. That shit looks fucking raw as hell,
Yeah,
even though
it's
it's
like
so small.
grotesque. Yeah, it's really good.
A lot of very good art. Also, on page 3 when he's doing the "come at me, bro" pose.
Hmm.
That's also really good. Um, it seems like Bakugo is dead for now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, I'm still skeptical that he's dead for real because I know what this fucking series is,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I like how everyone's losing their shit over like, oh my god, what if Genus fixes his heart by replacing his muscle fiber with
With
gene fiber?
genes, could you fucking imagine? He just star platinums his heart with fucking gene fibers. What a
you
goat!
have
What
a
a legend!
you have a heart made out of denim, Bakugo, literally. That would actually be so funny.
If he's
Um,
fucking he becomes Gina's sidekick for a while, and it's just because he has a gene heart. Oh
you see,
my god! Now I just need a fucking picture of a heart wearing a pair of jeans, and that's
okay,
how it's fixed. It's not even like a denim patch; it's just wearing jeans.
but how would the heart wear the jeans though? Like at what height?
It would just have it would like Best Jeanist's collar. Just the tip of it would be poking out of the
Just like the
jeans
just like the aorta is poking out, and the rest is just.
inside the jeans. I can't wait till next chapter when they reveal that it was all a ruse and Bakugo's actually okay because his heart was guarded by a jeans wall. Don't you know denim is tough? All for one.
This is the toughest denim. um,
Adamanta denim.
and then we get another panel, another double spread of Mirko just hanging off of
Mm-hmm.
Shigaraki. That titty sure be hanging.
It sure
Thank
do be.
Yeah, thank you, Hori, for that. Um, and then of
Really
course, right at
gross
the
that
end,
she's chewing on his nasty arm skin.
hey, they've been fighting for a while. She needs to replenish. That shit must be very nutritious. It can literally grow spontaneously. And yeah, then at the end we got All for One in his primal form. He does not have freckles.
No, he just kind of looks like the Chad meme.
He does. Um, and also, yeah, this is definitely rewind, isn't it?
It sure is.
Because that's the effect for it.
Yep.
And I saw people say like, oh, but he specifically says he couldn't get his hands on it. Like, guys, he says I have one trump card, and it flashes to Eri and the quirk bullets, and
Mm-hmm.
then he rewinds himself to his primal form with the rewind effect on him. I'm sorry, he has rewind.
The only thing
Like,
I can think of that they may justify with is that like because he couldn't actually pull the quirk out of her, he had to like reverse engineer it. Maybe it's like not as effective, or he can't use it multiple times or something.
yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna. What I'm assuming happened is that at some point, Shigaraki and All for One, as in when they were already fused, got access to at least one of the quirk bullets, which would contain Ares' DNA. Um, and then he like managed to juice out a limited version of her quirk out of that. That's my current theory.
Yeah, like I
Which
don't think he just has her ability at free use as much as he wants to.
Yes, which would be not as stupid as him just having it. It would still be really dumb because if that's something he can do, why does he need Deku to suck one for all out? Just like find a hair or a fingernail.
Yeah.
If DNA is all
Also,
you need.
like if you have this amazing trump card of like an immediate rewind that you can use one time, why are you using it on the body you don't care about anymore? And not like on the Shigaraki body, because it would make the Shigaraki body unkillable. Is that why?
Well, no, I think the thing is that the Shigaraki, because the All for One that's physically in the real world and the All for One that's inside Shigaraki are not technically the same entity, so they wouldn't share that power, right?
Well,
So
right,
he
but I'm
would have.
saying like if you get that quirk out of the bullet and you're like, we got it, and you're
Mhm.
looking at your ultimate future body and then just like the body you plan to just let die, why would you put it in the one that you don't give that much of a shit about?
Oh, Zen, you don't get it. It's actually Hori is cooking like crazy right now. This is like a metaphor for how All for One cannot let go and how it'll be his ultimate downfall. It's because MHA doesn't know what the fuck it's doing anymore, right? Like, we've been over this at this point. Like, yeah, because again, if he can steal all quirks from just DNA, that's by itself a huge problem. Like, that's by itself a huge plot hole. But
Yeah, I
it's
don't.
we're
And
just
if the
here.
and the thing is, like, I don't understand people saying it's not rewind because what else would it be? Like, it's not regeneration because we know that doesn't work on wounds that you have before you got it,
Well,
which
yeah,
is why
that
he
and
needed the
also
mask to begin with.
why would he? Why would it flash to
To
Eri as he's
Eri,
saying, "I have a trump
yeah,
card"?
I, yeah, it 150 million% is rewind.
Yeah, one way or another, it's rewind. Like
But
whether
like
or
we
not,
know he didn't get it from her, so the only
yes,
explanation is that he got it out of the bullets, which
yeah,
is
which
problematic at best.
is dumb.
Yeah,
Like
a little bit.
let's call a spade a spade. It is dumb, but you
Well, I
know,
mean, don't they have tech that lets them replicate quirks? Like, can't they make like mass produce
uh,
them?
only the doctor could do that, if I remember correctly. Like, the only way they could do it was through the Doctor's knowledge of science and All for One's quirk. But either one alone cannot do it, or rather, the Doctor can do it by himself. It just takes much longer. If I remember correctly, that was the
The
uh,
explanation.
explanation, because quirk duplication just showed up in the story and they never explained it. They were just like, "Oh yeah, it's just a thing the Doctor can do."
Okay,
Um,
well, I
so
I
you know,
tried, My Hero fans. I tried to help you. I got nothing. This is
yeah,
dumb.
no, it's okay. The biggest takeaway here is that All for One's hot, and Dobby might actually get his fight with Endeavor, which is cool because I do think Dobby should not leave the story without having at least one final confrontation with Endeavor.
Look how sad Endeavor looks if you zoom in on his face on page 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a
Oh
sad
god,
puppy look.
yeah, he does like, what the fuck? I sacrificed my arm, and he just got hotter.
He's That's
I
not the kind
burnt.
of hotter I was trying to make him when I burned him.
I burnt him, and instead of dying, he grew abs.
Look at those cheekbones. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do now?
Oh fuck, he's chiseled. Hawks, I can't do this. I can't beat up attractive men.
Oh god.
um, yeah, if you've ever gotten beaten up by Endeavor, you're ugly. I'm sorry.
That's part of his that's in like the intro packet when you join his agency.
In his Twitter bio, it's like ugly people do not interact. Um, but yeah, uh, pretty okay chapter. Some stuff that is a little, yeah, but I feel like that's par for the course now for
Yeah,
MHA.
it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's fun.
Yeah. There has been worse shit coming out of this lately, I'll say that.
Yes, absolutely. All right, what's next?
Next up is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Man, poor Kamo.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad making fun of him. Because now he's like, my life fucking sucks and my life is over, so let me just die and help a little bit for once. And I was like, damn,
Yeah,
bro.
you remember when in My Hero when Mirio made fun of Shigaraki for not having friends and Shigaraki started screaming and crying?
Yes.
That's what this feels like, except we're Mirio
Yeah.
and
And
this and the manga is Shigaraki. But yeah, man, he really is at the end of his of everything.
and
But
like, well, and it sucks because he's, coming to the realization that he lived his whole life for his mom, but then like the mom got a new family, and so really in doing that, he's the one that's left alone now. Like,
mhm,
it sucks. Also, the phrase
yeah.
"he blew blood into my inlet" is really funny.
You never do that to your homies.
Never blow blood into the inlet.
Are you even friends if you never blow some blood into your in your homie's inlet?
The only thing is, boy, do I wish this ended one page sooner.
Yeah, what the fuck was that random
I don't. I,
thing there?
yeah, I don't really give a shit about these two guys. They're obviously just like every single zone in the culling game so far has had like a wacky person in it. So like I'm not super surprised by this,
Hmm?
but like, man, it was like some serious peak emotional shit, and then like the humor at the end really fell flat in trying to like undercut. Oh man, it was not
Yeah,
great.
it's weird, but I think most of the chapter being as good as it is really helps. Like I think the sort of the hopelessness of Kamo versus sort of the way Naoya's speed is shown visually
Hmm.
really lend themselves to a good chapter here. On page 11, when Naoya speeds into him and you have like the air pressure coming out of Kamo's back.
Hmm. Like the shockwave
That's
from the collision.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's so good. Love that. Um, and yeah, I mean, I kind of hope this Naoya fight wraps up soon. I hope these two doofuses ending it, help with ending it,
Yeah.
because
I assume we'll get one chapter of whatever dumb shit they're gonna do, and then Maki will be recovered because she said she needed like 5 minutes.
approximately 2 chapters then,
Uh-huh, roughly.
roughly.
Unless it's Dragon Ball 5 minutes, and then we'll never get it done.
Fair enough.
But like, man,
Also,
I respect Kamo a lot more than I did coming into this chapter.
yeah,
I'll tell you that. I love the
yeah.
pretty much everything from page 12 onward, where he's like, Nalia thinks that I'm too afraid of blood loss to use a strong attack, and then he goes straight to piercing blood, and you get like the background kind of explanation of it, and then there's just the little speech of like, if no one needs you, burn away your life so your comrades can burn theirs on your ashes. I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
bro,
Raw
fuck.
shit for someone who was a D-lister up
I
until a few weeks
know
ago.
that speech is way too raw for somebody who's that irrelevant.
So somebody who looks that divorced. Also, can I just say, him circulating his blood outside of his body to minimize the blood loss is
Hmm.
the fucking rawest shit.
Yeah, like using it and then recirculating it back in is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it reminds me a little of like Killua's Thunder Cloak from Hunter x Hunter, where it's like, oh, he's using like the thunder aura around him to like send signals from his brain to his muscles much faster than through the nerves.
Hmm.
It kind of reminds me of that. It's really cool.
Also, God, that's gross. Your nasty blood back in your body.
Get that blood back in there, boy.
Get that blood back in there. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Um but yeah, no. Good chapter, good fight. Um a friend of mine is currently actually reading through the Jujutsu Kaisen manga. It's the first manga he's ever read. Because he watched the anime with me. He's the guy I took along to the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero premiere here in Switzerland. And so he just like he's like on a holiday right now. So he keeps texting me randomly in the day. He sends me a picture of like, Gojo vaporizing Hanami and he's like, "Dude,
Hmm.
Peakshin." And I'm like, "Yeah."
It
So
really
yeah,
is.
it really is. I don't get people who say that it's fallen off. Like
I
calling games.
understand that some people aren't super into the format of the culling games because it's not how it was really before, but like
Mhm.
it's not any different than a tournament arc in anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, it's just before Shibuya, it was very much sort of small arcs that were sort of kind of separate from each other and linked together just in the one arc ends, the next one starts kind of way. And they were all building gradually to one climax arc, whereas Culling Games feels more like the climax arc is constantly happening, and within its bracket, you have the mini arcs that sort
Hmm.
of build up to the finale. Um, and I guess I can see that someone might be someone who isn't like super into Jujutsu Kaisen on a base level and just wanted to check out Shibuya. I could see someone like that reading past Shibuya and being like, ugh, this is kind of annoying to read structurally. Like, yeah, I mean, at that point, just let it stack, binge read it when everything's out. Um, but in terms of sort of just general quality, I think it's perfectly in line with Shibuya.
Yeah, I think so
Uh,
too. I think the culling games are great. I just kind of the only complaint I have about the culling games is the superfluous characters that show up and vanish. Like these guys
yeah,
are gonna do nothing. They're gonna show up, they're gonna
yeah,
contribute to this fight, and they're gonna be like, "I'm on my way," and they're gonna leave.
yeah, yeah. Like
Which feels
I
kind
think
of
the
irrelevant, but
yeah, I feel like the intention here is that to make it feel chaotic and sort of, oh, there's so many participants. But I agree, I don't think it's handled the best way possible.
yeah, I think it
Like,
happens too often.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
my thing.
Um, but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, good out of 10.
Jujutsu Kaisen always good out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the grand finale, which is Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. Uh, our boy is
He's
back.
back, and he let
Our,
a fucking like 12 people die for a cat, like a goat,
like an absolute
like
Chad.
a fucking legend. Also, I love how so the fan theory was that he was gonna save them from the Bat Devil, and that was
Mm-hmm.
only partially correct because he accidentally did.
Yeah, because he was fighting a
Because he
cockroach
was
devil.
fighting a different devil and then it killed the Bat Devil on accident.
Uh-huh. Um, Also, saving the cat is almost definitely a reference to Save the Cat, which is a very famous movie script writing like textbook that you get in a lot of like cinema school. Um, where sort of its core thesis revolves around moral situations of heroism, where you have to save the sympathetic character instead of running away or instead of taking a bargain or whatever. And this chapter basically turns it on its head, where it's like, yeah, he'll save the cat at the cost of like 12 people's lives.
Yeah, he'll kill all these people. Also, do you know that you
Mm-hmm.
can see the cat before he grabs it?
Oh, really?
It's on
Where?
page 42 or 41. Sorry.
41. Where?
Right above its
Oh,
right
it's
arm.
hanging
You see it
there.
hanging on the yeah. It's hanging off the building by above its arm.
Oh, that's so cute. So funny too. Um, but yeah, aside from Denji being back, sort of the little bit we get also with Asa and her past and how she chose to save a cat instead of a family, kind of by accident.
hmm
Um, that's so Fujimoto. That is so him. Just sort of tragedy that isn't really your fault, but you can absolutely blame yourself for it if you're in the
Yeah,
wrong headspace.
like objectively, all she did was grab the cat, and then she fell over, and then
Yeah.
because she fell over, the mom had to stop and grab her, and like if she hadn't fallen, the mom would still be alive. But at the same time, like that wasn't your like you didn't do that on purpose to like hurt someone, you know?
It wasn't there wasn't like a chain of causality there, but again, you see that happen, you're very easily gonna blame yourself.
hmm
And yeah, no, I like her choice as well there. You know, where she's like, I'm gonna save my friend. I'm gonna actually, help people now. I'm not just gonna run away. Yeah, Asa really feels like a very cool character so far, and I'm just so happy that Denji's here because now the real character dynamics can start.
Yes, we can
Um,
finally start mixing some things together.
mhm. Also, I love the um sequence of pages from page 25 to the double spread on 26 and 27. Because on 25, like the bat's mouth is wide open, you have that tension, and then the first thing you do when you flip the page is you just see it snap shut.
hmm
That's such a good, effective, simple trick. Very, very cool. Love that. Um, so yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens next.
The panel of Denji killing the cockroach devil is so good.
Yeah, fucking Beyblade.
hmm God, the whole fucking double spread of his like first victory back. God, that shit was good.
Yeah, yeah, like I'm sure Fujimoto felt somewhat anxious about how to reintroduce Denji after, a year and a half of absence from the magazine. But man, did he nail it. Like, absolutely.
I also like how the news later was like, in another act of heroism, he rescued this cat. It's like all these dead bodies laying around.
You know what? Respectable. Absolutely respectable. Because, I mean, yeah, because he would also be sort of more towards cats now because Power had a cat and he's
hmm
on the lookout for Power now, right? That was his goal sort of at the end of part 1,
hmm
finding the blood devil. So yeah, very very cool stuff.
Fucking peak. I fucking love Chainsaw Man, dude.
I love Chainsaw Man. I can't wait for the anime.
I know. I'm so excited. Fuck, it's so
Mhm.
soon too.
When is it exactly?
Isn't it October?
Oh shit! Damn! Rip My Hero season 6.
Or am I wrong and that's something else?
Well, My Hero is on the 1st of October. I thought.
Well, I'm definitely not talking about My Hero. I might be talking about Bleach though.
Yes, Bleach is also in October. I think. Um, but yeah, no, I'm super excited to see
The
where this
anime will have a
goes.
world premiere at Toho Cinemas Roppongi Hills on September 19th.
Okay, but
The
then when is
anime
it going to be airing?
adaptation is confirmed for worldwide release in October 2022.
Okay, so that'll be yeah, for either the 1st of October or the week after, I'd
Damn, I'm
assume.
getting Bleach and Chainsaw Man in the same month. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
What
and
an
then
October.
just a few months, like 2-3 months into their run, you're gonna get Hidden Inventory
Yep.
animated.
Shit's gonna go crazy for a while. And then
Yeah, that's
Undead
gonna be
Unluck coming out.
food.
That could be pretty good as long as I convince everyone not to watch the first couple episodes.
And just skip sort of the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, just get to the end of like episode 2 and you're golden.
Yeah, have someone recap it for you, but like not too in too much detail. But all right, is that a wrap then?
I think so.
All right.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for tuning in to Shonen and Chill. We appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the return of Chainsaw Man as much as we are,
Mm-hmm.
and we will see you guys next time.
All right, folks. Goodbye and have a good week.